Hi guys, welcome back. And in previous session, we worked how to display the class and how to display the table from the server from the server PHP controller, right? So and how to display this model. In this part, we'll add the markseed information into database and display the markseed according to them and edit them as well as and also remove them. So let's go to the code and okay. So first of all, let's create the create function, okay, for the markseed. That way it will be easier for us to know if everything is going well. So for that, we'll create a function, public function create, okay, and here we'll add class ID. And if we check if class ID, okay, I think I'll copy from student. It's the same. Oh, we have too much validation, so let's copy from student. Go to controller student, and after that go to the create function, copy the from validator to up to here, close this one and just okay, it's not working, so let's indent them. And we have only like two fields, so let's remove all of them and keep the two field, so we don't have to copy and paste that again. So give the name as markseed name, okay. So and for date, we'll give the date, change the field label, okay. Here it's a markseed name, so it should be required, both of the fields should be required. And if the validation is true, okay, let's remove this one. We'll create, okay, provide the class ID, and here we should change this to markseed model. If it's if it returns, this function returns a true value, then it will store the validation area as true and successful. If it has an error, then it displays the error, like while inserting the information into the database, error while and this will display this validation error. So let's check that if it's working or not. So if we try to add this one, okay, because we need to pass the class ID, okay. So to do that, let's create a AJAX function, okay. So AJAX, so let's give it as add markseed. I think it should be form, right? Let's copy this one and paste it over here, and it should be on submit, okay. And attribute which is equals to this, var method equals to form that attribute equals to this, okay. So we'll use the AJAX function. That was a should be let's give it a type, okay. And dot equals to form serial, nice. Data type equals to, let's give it a JSON because it's returning the JSON value from the server. Let's give it a success. So the response dot success equals to, if it's true from here, like if it's true value, right? And else if response. Okay, so for this one, let's copy it from student, which has been explained in this section. let's just copy it from this one. I'll give it over here. This example I've already explained in the student part, so just look at there. Or it's simple, like if we have like object like array object, then it will come from here, I guess, from here. So if we have a single value, then we'll just display that message. Yes, and we need to change this one also. Okay, so let's give add marksheet message here, and yeah, and we forgot, yeah, it should be here class ID. Yeah, so let's give it here class ID. So let's go back to that part and just add. Okay, the AJAX function is not working. I think here should be return false. Okay, it's not working, so there's a small error, I guess. So okay, marksheet, let's check it's in this function or not. Okay, it's not loading, I guess. Let's check if it's in this one. If you click on this add, okay, it's working here, so I guess it's from here. Okay, I think I forgot to save this marksheet, so I think now it will work. Okay, so yeah, it's working. I just forgot to save after changing the ID as a ID form ID name to add marksheet model, so that's why it was not loading. So okay, let's save this. The error validation is done. Marksheet 1, give the date as today, save. Yeah, it will not work because we haven't created this function in marksheet. Let's quickly create that. It's not so hard, I guess. I think now you guys are more pro. So let's create function create and give it a class ID equals to null. Okay, so we'll check if we have a class ID. Okay, so if we have a class ID, to otherwise it will return false. Okay, so let's check the table, how we are going to work. So the first, this table saves the table marksheet information, right, for like exam date or marksheet name, and in another marksheet student saves the student ID, subject ID, and how much they have acquired, obtained the marks for a particular subject, and what are the marksheet ID, which will be faced from this part, and their class ID and their section ID. So it's a little bit tricky, I guess. So first of all, we'll need to get the section ID for the class. It should be fetch. I forgot. I think it should be fetch by class data. Yep. So this is the one we need to be using. So it should be class ID, and we'll store the first marksheet data. Okay, for this one, marksheet name and marksheet date, right, and class and class ID. Here should be class ID. Here should be dot input, this input post, and here we'll just get it from here, marksheet name, and then second one we'll be using from date, marksheet date. Okay, so the size and already we'll use the db insert into marksheet. I think it's name, right? Oh, it's only the marksheet. table name. So, and we'll pass the markseed data. So this code will successfully install the, I mean, like, insert the markseed information. So just have a check, we can check that. Okay, so markseed 1 288. Yeah, because we didn't return anything from this one. So but there's data already. We didn't, because we didn't return anything from here, right? So that's why it's, and as I told you, this error is returning from this one, right? And if we have like empty value, then this is written from this one. So okay, so as I guessed, okay, let's just delete this one for right now and we will work with that. Okay, so okay, let's go back to model markseed, and first of all we'll get the markseed ID which was created. So this in db insert ID, right? And we need to insert the markseed ID and the student ID of the class. So we'll get the student from a class and a section, and we'll also get the subject of the particular class. Okay, like from subject, it's from like class 1. For like class 6 we have to get this too. If we have class 11 we all need to get this one. So okay, so let's do that. Okay, so let's use a section. For how many sections do we have for the class? It will be loaded successfully. Like for example, class 1 we have 2 sections, like A, like A and B will be loaded. Okay, and we need to get the student data, right, from the class ID and the section ID. So this model student will okay, let's go to model and get the student information by class ID and section ID. So we'll use this function, which is, and here we'll write the class ID and value section ID. Okay, and so another one is subject, model subject. Go to this subject and there should be subject, which function there should be get the subject ID by class ID. So this one is the function that we need to use. So you do this like this and provide a class ID, and we'll use the student data, and here we'll add student key and student value. Okay, and after that we'll load again the subject data. Here we'll add subject key and subject value. So this is how it works. So first of all, this is return class A student, right? I'm sorry, section A, and this will return the section A. So this will return the section A, right? So this will return the section A, and after that this for loop will return all the students, right? All the students from section class 1 and section A, and so it will load until the class section A dot students are loaded successfully. Okay, so let's give that as markseed student data array, and let's give it from here, and it should be student, it should be subject, obtain mark, and I think another is mark seed ID, class ID mark seed ID, class ID, and section ID. Let's give it from here student value as student ID. Okay, and here should be subject value as subject ID. Okay, so here should be marksheet ID, and it should be open. I think this will be on this part. I think manage box, not in this one. So here should be marksheet ID. Okay, so here it should be class ID, and here should be value section ID, and let's insert this. So let's try to create this one, and then I'll explain more briefly. So let's create. Okay, marksheet 1. Let's save this. I think we have a problem. Okay, almost in model. Okay, I think I forgot to mention class. So let's load model. Classes, and let's keep here. We need a section, right? We are using classes, section, and student, and subject. I think we should have been create that, I guess. So let's delete this one for now. And okay, so let's create this as a marksheet 1. Okay, we have an error. The section ID field. Okay, and on column means it's from here, right? So it should underscore, not the hyphen. Let's do this. Okay, so let's delete this one and type marksheet 1. Save. Yeah, it's successfully created. So okay, but I think why didn't we get any message here? Because I forgot to do that. So let's quickly okay, do that. Let's do this and basically here and change this warning to success, and we'll remove error, and we'll remove the success error, and also we'll remove the text changer if successfully saved, and after that we'll update the table, right? And we also need to reset the value. So you just use again add a new markset value. Okay, so let's check it here. Okay, there's a markset 4 ID here. Yeah, so it's created. So you can see for student as you can see for class 6, let's go to class 6. Okay, the 6 is 1, right? And how many sections do we have for class let's check that. For 6 id, I think we have only 2 class sections, right? So we'll have only 2 sections. Okay, section 1 and 7. We'll have class 1 and 7. Because I think there's a small error. We have one at 18, but should be, we also need the section id 2, right? But section id 2 is not been displayed. Let's go to section. Okay, we have like section, we have section 3 sections for 6, but we only were able to add. Okay, I think there's a small error. We were only able to add one section. So the value is coming from here. Okay, so section id, based on that all the students are loaded. So for, oh, I forgot, we don't have a student on section B and C. You can check there. Yeah, we don't have a student for section B and C, so that's why we only have like section for section A. You can see there, right? So we don't have only section A. So that is how it works. So so first it will so for class 1 we have like section 3 section, but and it will load the students, right? So it will load the students with that class and section id. It will load the student and subject data. So it will load the student once, for example for John Doe, and then for example it will load the John Doe, and then it will load the subject id for that particular class and section, and it will store here an array with student id, subject id, marks id, class id, and the value section id. After that, after that the John Doe is finished, it will load another user, Leo Messi. Then it will check how many subjects do we have for that particular class 1 and 2, for class 1 and section 8. Then again it will load and store this value, and then insert into marksheet. So yeah, that's how it works. So we are successfully able to create the marksheet. So yeah, in next section, next part, we'll try to fix this error. I don't know why do I have this error. We'll work in this in next session, and we'll try to finish this manage marksheet. Okay, so